Just how do you drive a smart car smoothly? It's another glorious sunny day in Derbyshire, everyone. Smart car is absolutely perfect. So letting all this light through all this glass and the glass roof that you're attached to at the moment. It just feels so spacious for a two-seater car that's exactly 2.5 metres long. Or at least this 450 is 2.5 metres long. The later ones were a little tiny bit bigger. There's a bit of a rev, go on. Now you see how the car dipped on every gear change. That's something that I've read so many times in forums, comments under videos for smart cars. So many people attack almost the fact. They certainly like to highlight that the cars are just not smooth to drive because you get this sort of rocking motion, a bit like on a roller coaster. I happen to like roller coasters, but you get what I'm saying. But how do you drive around that? Why should you drive around it? More importantly, what's causing it in the first place? So we'll start with that one. The Smart 450 and the 451. They had semi-automatic gearboxes, and for those that don't know what a semi-automatic gearbox is, it's basically this car has got a manual gearbox but with a computer controlled actuated clutch. Now that computer control system is really clever. It has to do a lot of things to replace what that left foot, the end of my left leg, would do in a normal manual car. So what does it actually do? Well, it kills the throttle or kills the accelerator pedal. Then of course it selects the next gear or the correct gear that it's decided you should have, and then it reinstates the accelerator pedal. Now that doesn't sound a lot of effort, but actually there is quite a lot going on. And it's a very clever system, but it's what's causing that sort of rocking motion. The kind of rocking motion I'm expecting to make if I'm lucky enough to live to a really old age. You know what I'm saying? There is one more thing that the gearbox has to do if it's changing down gear as well. So when it cuts the accelerator pedal, it then also rev matches the engine to make for a smoother change in that lower gear. So there is really quite a lot for the computer to do to change gear for you. Now I will confess, as much as I find this car the most fun car on the fleet to drive, absolutely love it. It's cheap to run, £30 road tax, £90 for me because I'm old to insure. 50-60 miles to the gallon. What's not to love? If you only need to carry no more than 2 people, I think these cars are absolutely perfect. Absolutely love it. Would recommend them to anyone. So how exactly do we drive around this system? How is it that I am able to make smooth progress in my Smart? It's not difficult, and not only is it not difficult, you kind of just, within minutes you just get acquainted to it, and once you know, you know. So we're going to get to the end of this lovely country lane. We're going to turn the corner and we're going to show you. Hang in there everyone. Twiddle your thumbs, hum your favourite tune. So when I accelerate, what I'm going to do is I know when it's going to change. Are you ready? And all I do is I just gently back off the accelerator very slightly. And I really do mean slightly, everyone. There's hardly any movement on my foot at all. But you get to know when you drive the car, even for a relatively short period of time, when it's going to change gear. And all I'm doing really is making sure my foot isn't buried to the floor, forcing the car to kill the accelerator pedal, which course gives you that rocking motion. It really is that simple, everyone. Sort of feeling what the car is doing, guesstimating when it's going to change gear, and lifting off slightly, or at the very least not keeping your foot buried on the accelerator pedal and expecting to change gears really smoothly without rocking you forward and back. But of course the easiest way to drive your Smart 4.2 smoothly is if you've got this button at the side, which is of course the automatic button. It's to leave it in manual mode and you decide when you're changing gears. By doing that, of course, you're going to know that the gear is about to change. It really is that simple. Now if you're watching this and thinking, well, that's a faff, then I'd rather just have a full automatic or even a manual, I disagree with you. And the reason I disagree with you is you don't even notice you're doing it. Once you've driven the car for a few minutes, you just drive it smoothly. Now, as much as I absolutely find this the most fun car to drive, I absolutely love my Smart. I can't see me ever wanting to part with it. I love the characterful 698cc engine with its 61 turbocharged horses. But there is a quirk that you can't really drive around, and we need to address it on this video. Letting a small car through, very kind of them. That quirk is manoeuvring the car, let's say when you're parking. Now of course a Smart car is easy to park. This car is 2.5 meters long, as I've already said in the video. It is super easy to park, apart from those really slow manoeuvres that you might need to do to park. So what I mean by that, of course, is, for example, maybe you're reversing in between into a parking space between two cars. Because of how this system functions, when you touch the accelerator pedal initially, it doesn't really do anything. Or shall I say, more importantly, on a standard automatic, normally if you take your foot off the brake, it creeps. And because that car creeps either forward or backwards, depending on, of course, whether you're in a forward or reverse gear, because it creeps, you can use that creep function without touching the accelerator pedal at all to park the car. It's an absolute doddle in a normal automatic. In a Smart car, not so much. Because what actually happens is, you gently try to touch the accelerator, she doesn't move. So then you touch it a bit more, and then she really does move. So you kind of get all or nothing. See, then you really do get that sort of on, off, accelerator, brake. Again, it's something that you can get used to, but you can't really get rid of it. You can't really eliminate it completely, everyone. One last quirk that I have to say on this video about the gearbox, that again, you can't really drive around unless you drive it in sort of manual mode, where change the gears yourself, of course, is you might come up to a junction. I'm going to give an example of pulling, or should I say, approaching an island. You're not going to come to a dead stop, but you're sort of creeping up to the island and you're watching the traffic go by and you see a gap. You press the accelerator pedal and nothing happens. It's not exactly what you want when you're starting to go across an island with cars coming at you. But the reason that the car will do that is because once you press that accelerator and basically tell the computer you want to go, well, the computer then decides you need a different gear to do it, so you have to wait for that gear to be selected. Just something you need to be aware of at junctions. In general, you can plan for it, but, or as I say, drive it in manual mode, but it can catch you out. Well, that's it then, everyone. It's a little video on how to drive a Smart car smoothly. Hope you liked it and found it informative. If you did, why not hit that like button? It tells YouTube algorithms it's a good video and more people, particularly more Smart owners or potential Smart owners, should watch it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, why not look for the link? It's completely free to subscribe to the Live to Drive channel, and the link will appear about here in a few moments. See you soon. Look at the beauty that is Derbyshire. I know every county's got beautiful areas, but look what we're surrounded by. Hardly any traffic on the road, glorious sunshine. Okay, there's horses and cyclists to look out for, and a lot of dog walkers today. But it's just can't think of a more fun car to drive.